Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Infinitum, Subject Unknown. Had to double check that. Interesting title, interesting film, and this is from director Tori Butler-Hart, who wrote this film along with Tori Butler-Hart, who also stars as our lead Jane in the film. And just a little quick thing of this film is this mystery science fiction film. We have Jane, she wakes up in this parallel dimension. Things keep restarting, and then bam, she's right at the same place again. And she starts seeing like evidence of things being manipulated, other versions of herself, and all these different kinds of things. And throughout the film, there's little cutouts of like little interviews with these two scientists. One is Ian McKellen, and one is Conleth Hill, aka Varys from Game of Thrones. Conleth Hill is definitely in it a lot more, and Ian McKellen's barely in it, but really enjoyed seeing them just popping up and being scientists on TV. Now, in terms of this film, this is one of those kinds of things where it's like, are you going to get answers? Is anything really going to be cleared up here? I don't know if this film necessarily offers that. Honestly, the final shots of this get really crazy, and then you're just like, what the hell is going on here? And then, what happened? But leading up to that point, you have this building tension, this building mystery, and you have Butler-Hart, who's doing a really fine job in this role as Jane, confused, trying to figure things out, being resourceful, strange, like her reacting to these strange occurrences, like she's standing there, but then this van started up, like started running, but there's no key in it. And what's going on here? And it slowly pulls back some layers and starts throwing in some tropes here and there from other kinds of films that deal with like time travel and parallel dimensions and stuff like that. But in general, this is a pretty thrilling and just meat and potatoes kind of film. Now, it can get a little repetitive, as literally the narrative is a repeating of the same thing over and over again, but she's trying to figure out different things. It has a little bit of Edge of Tomorrow vibes in it. It has this just mysterious and suspenseful atmosphere that you have our director able to create. And throughout this whole entire film, it's like there's no frills here. There's no like big special effects. There's some interesting effects thrown out. There's some interesting occurrences, but it really is a small budgeted, low-key kind of science fiction film that has this big concept and then is able to effectively use its smaller budget and be able to hit on certain things and be able to utilize those to build that suspense, that tension, and getting us to this point where things are really interesting and I was engaged. This isn't a film where I'm like, oh my god, I love this movie, but I was engaged, enjoying, and appreciating the suspenseful ride that I was on, and everything was done in a really solid way, and it was really well put together. It's going to be confusing. You really don't get a whole lot of answers, and I don't know how, I think most people might not feel the greatest sense of closure when this film comes to a closure. But for me, I enjoyed this a lot. I think that it's an effective thriller. It uses its science fiction ideas and trappings well enough to create an enjoyable and worthwhile experience, even if it's something that, like, I don't think this is a really good film. I don't think this is a great film. I didn't love this film. But there's enough here for, if you're a science fiction fan like myself and want something to make you think and process and try to figure out this puzzle on your own and think about it long after the movie's over, that's this film. So if that sounds enticing to you, check out Infinitum, Subject Unknown. But those are my thoughts on the film. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.